Hello, encouragers. I'm Rebekah Scott, wife, mother of 4, author, and owner and designer of Rebekah Scott Designs. I'm here to encourage you, to make you feel that I can do this spirit each and every day of our awesome journeys to fulfill our many important roles. I believe we are fully equipped to execute, and I will provide as much knowledge, practices, and systems as I can to help you understand just what I know you can do. Execute. We got this. Hello, encouragers. On today's episode of the podcast, I want to go over my top 10 most time-saving tips. If you're going to find me Googling something, it's definitely time savings tips because we have a lot of roles that we're taking care of and a little amount of time, or I shouldn't say a little amount of time because I'm a big believer in prioritizing your time, blocking in time. But the truth is we only get 24 hours. We can't manipulate it into longer or slower. So anything that I can do to save time so I can emphasize my relationships more, I'm going to do it. So I thought I would share my top 10. And these are an ever-changing thing. You know, I always come up with a new time savings tip for that year that I will report on later. But as of lately, these are my top 10 most time-saving tips. Not in any particular order either. Number 1, I lay out my clothes and my kids' clothes the night before, including my gym clothes, because I don't want to spend the time in the morning changing my mind because I don't feel like wearing whatever it is I laid out the night before, which I realize does happen. But this forces you to wear what you pulled out the night before and forces you into a mode that maybe you weren't particularly in and forces you not to wear the black leggings and the baseball cap, right? I know. So lay out your clothes the night before, and I lay out my gym clothes too, so that when my alarm goes off, you put those gym clothes on as soon as possible, and I'm not searching for the sports bra, okay? The kids lay out their clothes the night before. My older 2 lay out their own clothes. My younger 2, they change their mind a lot, especially in the morning, and I found it was taking about 20 minutes for them to decide on their clothes. And Pixon will still change clothes about 4 times a day, but at least initially the night before she lays out her clothes, and she likes to make them even lay them out like a human and everything. My friend Erin has a really cool trick. She uses a shoe bin, that hang behind the doors, and she puts all of their clothes in it according to the day. So you can get really time savings, because especially in my family, the minutes in the morning are so precious. Even though we're in summer mode, they lay out their clothes the night before so there isn't decision making in the morning. The second one is laundry. Now, you've heard me preach about laundry quite a few times over the past couple of series of podcasts, but I do all of my laundry in one day, and that's everybody's clothes. And I have children old enough now that they do fold their own clothes, except for my younger 2. I will fold those clothes and my husband and my clothes, but I do all my laundry in one day. And I do my linens on Tuesday. So I do everybody's clothes on Monday in one day. And then I do the linens, like all the sheets and all the towels and all the dish towels and that sort of thing. I do those on Tuesday. And that only takes me about half a day to do the linens. But the reason I do laundry in one day, and everybody kind of has their own method, but I swear this is so time saving. I wash and dry or hang up to dry all in one day. I don't fold anything during the day. I wait until night, then I gather all the piles, then I fold everything at once. You can pair it with something when we talk about pairings. So you could pair it with a podcast or pair it with a relationship building phone call. For me, I call my brother-in-law Nathan and we chat over goals, insights, resources, that sort of thing during that laundry folding time. And I love it. It just flies by because I'm building a relationship. I'm learning about some new things and I'm getting the laundry folded without realizing how long it takes me, which, by the way, my laundry folding takes between 25 to 35 minutes. It goes really fast when you're not stopping and going during the day to fold the laundry and take it to their room and then go back to the next load. It's all done in one spot. Then I tell the kids, hey, laundry's folded. Everybody puts away their own stuff, including my husband. It's just super slick. So time-saving tip, do your laundry in one day. And honestly, I do start Sunday night. So it's maybe like a day and a quarter just to get through everybody's loads. Another tip is I plan out my food daily. And if you're on a plan where you plan out your food monthly or weekly, go you. I do mine daily. At 7:30, I have determined what we're going to have for lunch, what we're going to have for supper, and what the after school snack is. And the time saving in the planning the after school snack is so huge because they're home, they're hungry. Mine have some blood sugar problems, so they're like cranky too. So if I have the snack planned and they can anticipate what they're going to have, they tend to be a little less grumpy because they know they're going to feed their tummy as soon as I get them in the door. And I don't have to scramble to try and find somebody while everybody is yelling at me about what they want. It's like, okay, we're having cheese and crackers today, or we're having fries and ketchup today. And it sounds a little bit unhealthy, but they're just the baked fries. So that's how I justify it. And I'm trying to do less sugar for their snacks. So planning out all three of those things, my mental bandwidth, I'm big on planning your food because the mental bandwidth you spend all day going, what are we going to have for supper? What are we going to have for supper? What are we going to have for dinner? Like all those thoughts, when you plan them out, you don't have to spend any energy thinking about your food because you've already spent that energy in the morning coming up with what you're going to have. Another time-saving tip is that I block out my day. And you've heard me talk about blocking on various episodes. I highly recommend going back to the episode titled Blocking. I believe it is in series 2 of our podcast here at The Encourager. I block out my day and I make sure that the kids are aware of what is going on in what time block. Because if I stay consistent, it's much more easier for their moods and their behavior also to stay consistent because they know what to anticipate. So for example, they know at 8:30 we're going to be in the studio working. So they usually want something to color in the morning. So that's what we do. And then I can start work all the way up until 10. Then we take a break for chit chat and a snack. And then we break at 11:30 to make lunch together. Or if it's already been prepped, we eat that. Then we do game time together. It's like a one-on-one time. And then we do nap time at 1 until my youngest wakes up. And then at 6 p.m., they also know mommy quits. And then we also take a break after school. It's usually about 3:30 when we get the kids picked up for that after school snack. But scheduling the kids to know what's going on in the studio. And remember, we talk frequently about a sticker chart. That is an episode that I recorded with my sister, Sarah. And that is, I believe it's titled Scheduling for Kids. I highly recommend listening to that episode as well. And she and I both do the same thing. Hers is a little more developed because she's a teacher and she knows clip art like the back of her hand. But scheduling out your kids so that they know what to anticipate will make a huge difference in how much you can get done, and it will actually save you time. Another time-saving tip is I only shopped on like 1 or 2 online places for clothes for me and then also for the kids. Now, every once in a while, I'll go rogue and find a new product or something else, but it really narrows down for me time-saving things. Like if I need a top for an event, I go to these 2 sites every time, or I go to these 2 gals. I'm really supportive of the boutiques we have here around my area and some of the gals that actually are frequent listeners too. And I try to hit them up if I've got an event because I want to give back to them. And it really narrows down because it's a little bit overwhelming when you go to Google a top, how many different places you can go to. So to save time, I pick 2 different places for the kids to shop from and 2 to 3 different places for myself, and then contact them or online order. That's a definite way that I save time with shopping. Another huge time-saving tip that I highly recommend is I do all my errands on one day. Think about how many times you're writing a list and then you go to do something else, like maybe pick up the kids from school and you're like, oh, I'm just going to stop and get some sour cream. Oh, and I'm going to stop at the post office. Oh, and then I am going to stop and make a chiropractic appointment. How long did you block in to make all of those tiny errands? You didn't block in any time. You only blocked in enough time to pick up your kids and go home. And then all of a sudden you're like, why is an hour and a half later? Because you ran errands in between there. Plan all your errands for one day. It will save you so much time. I can do most of my errands between 7:30 and noon on Wednesdays. And that's including appointments and including visiting my grandma and grandpa. Because again, I'm big on building relationships and I love those 2 so much. My kids love them as well. So do your errands in one day. And to get in the habit of that, you got to write a list of what you're thinking you're going to do. Like, oh, I'm going to stop and get sour cream. Well, can it wait until the day, whatever that is for you, that you plan to do errands? I also recommend doing it on a weekday, not on Saturday. Are you kidding? Everybody's doing it on Saturday. Do it on a Wednesday morning. That's what I do. And I'm more likely to get appointments with the dentist and with the doctor. It's also an infrequent time when people try to book appointments. So do all of your errands and all of your appointments on one day. Super recommend it. You'll save so much time. Hello, encouragers. If you are feeling encouraged during this podcast or need more clarification or direction, I do offer coaching. And then also we offer a one-day workshop. Visit our website at shoprsd.com and click on the podcast link on the top bar. I would love to chat with you and help you succeed. Another time-saving tip is blocking out my work hours. I talked about a little bit about this with schedule for the kids, making sure that you schedule for the kids and they've got a picture chart so they know what's coming up. It's kind of the same as blocking out my work hours. I know that I work, and my staff knows that I work from about 8:30 to 11:30. I take a break until 1:30. Then I work from 1:30 to 6. Knowing my work hours allows others to respect it, myself to respect it, and it's a time savings because I know, okay, at 6 I got to quit, or I got to crowd this in because I'm getting close to 6 o'clock, or I'm getting close to 11:30 and I didn't quite finish. When can I block that in this afternoon? So definitely blocking out my work hour actually saves me time. And with blocking out your work hours, if it's a little overwhelming to know, like, yeah, sure, I can work from 8:30 to noon, but what am I going to do? I also picked themed days. So, on Mondays, this is what you're going to attack. You're going to call it Marketing Mondays, and you're going to do 10 flat lays, and you're going to do 10 blog entries, and you're going to do 10 photos, whatever that looks like for your business. Have a theme for each day so that there's something you can cross off and complete. That will save you so much time, not like doing flat lays on Tuesday and doing flat lays on Friday afternoon and doing a few on Wednesday. Like, block in what day you're going to do flat lays. So for me, on Mondays, it's all the cutouts. On Tuesdays, it's surging. On Wednesdays, it's errands in the morning, then fit and finish in the afternoon. On Thursdays, it's new ideas, and on Fridays, it's podcasting. So kind of keep an idea for each day. If you picked a theme, what would it be and what could you execute on that day? You will save time by blocking out your days and picking themes for the day. Another time-saving tip is my agenda sheet. So my agenda sheet was made by Angie, and it's just a simple sheet that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then on each day, it's got a different breakdown. So it says lunch, snack, and supper. So I can write in what I planned at 7:30 that morning. It's got a call to Angie. She's my executive assistant. So I call her at 9 a.m. on Mondays. It also has the RSD University. It's videos that I need to record. My Every Dollar app, that's my financial app. These are little tick marks that are made on each day that I need to be able to cross off or check mark that I have done them. And then there's a couple of lines that I can fill in. Remember, we talk about frogs. So there's also like 3 frogs on each day, only 3 that I need to attack for that day. So my agenda sheet saves me time because I'm not dealing with all kinds of different sticky notes about different things that happen during the week. It's all on one sheet. And I fill it out every Sunday night. So I highly recommend some sort of PDF, and we could share something like this for you also. That's just a very simple Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if you need to have those on there. And it's just a way of organizing your week and saving you time by filling it out on Sunday night to know what you're going to execute by Friday. Another time-saving tip is that I sort my mail every day. And this may seem to some of you like, well, duh, so do I. You would be amazed at the amount of people I ask that are like, no, like twice a week they sort the mail. I'm like, what? Sort your mail every single day and trash it or shred it every single day as well. Because if you leave the shred pile until Friday, you're not going to do it. And then it just adds up and adds up. Or if you make a throw pile, but it's not actionable, you're also not going to go through it more frequently. So if you're using the Touch It Once paper system, which also is a fantastic time saver, you can categorize the things that are coming in the mail. So if it's a graduation invite, you can stick it in the 14th because you need to buy the card somewhere in there for the graduation on the 18th. Any appointments, any bills, you can file them in the date that they're due or a couple days before to remind you to get them done. But I definitely recommend sorting your mail every single day. My other time-saving tip is I always ask for the earliest appointment possible with doctors or chiropractors or any kind of appointments that you need to make, even with your hairstylist. Ask for the earliest possible. I've been able to get into the doctor at 7 a.m. because they're not backed up by all the other appointments during the day. When you try to squeeze it in during your noon hour, how often do you actually get out of there in an hour? Yeah. I totally relate. So I schedule them. Again, I do all my errands and appointments on one day. So I do them on Wednesday mornings as early as possible. So sometimes I have to get creative with my husband. We both work from home so that he can watch the little girls while I run in to do it if it is a 7 a.m. morning, or I tell the kids we're going to be up early because we've got XYZ or XYZ appointment. P.S. I have a funny story to tell you about appointments. I had prepped one child that we were going to the doctor and she was going to have to get a few shots. And she was like, what are shots? And so, of course, the other siblings told her the horror stories of what shots are. But we'd had it all week. She'd kind of like prepped herself. We were going to be okay. So we're going into the doctor. We're sitting and waiting, checked her in and everything. And then the nurse called my other daughter. That's right. I had prepped the wrong daughter all week long while the righteous daughter was like, hey, 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 and then she's the one that got called. It was not good. It ended up being okay because less time to prep, like you just got to do it. And then the other one felt really righteous. But I've been there, guys. So now when I book appointments, I don't just book them early like I recommend. I also write down which child it's for. Thankfully, I had both children there. Can you imagine if I showed up with the one and it wasn't even that child and I didn't have the other one with me? Oh, gosh. So book your appointments as early as possible so they're less likely to get delayed and you have more freedom afterwards to save time to do the things you want to do. So there they are, everybody. My top 10 most time-saving tips as of yet. Lay out your clothes and your gym clothes the night before and even your kids' clothes. Do your laundry in one day, your linens in another day. Start planning your food, daily food, lunch, snack, and supper. Schedule for the kids with picture charts so they know what's coming up. Shop on 1 to 2 places instead of half a dozen places for your things. Just narrow it down to 1 or 2. Run your errands in one day, huge time saver. Block out your work hours so it's consistent for you and for your children. You'll save a ton of time not wandering around, wondering what you're supposed to do when you've blocked out that this is my work hour, so I can't book appointments during this or friend dates or whatever it is. Also, do an agenda sheet for yourself for the week. Write out what happens on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Write out theme days like Marketing Monday and, Taco Tuesday. Easy to remember. What could be your Tuesday theme? Sort your mail every single day and ask for the earliest appointment possible so you can save time by not being delayed by somebody else's schedule. I hope these have been helpful to you all. I'm excited to see what you guys respond to us on email and also on our Facebook page about what your time-saving tips are. Thank you, encouragers. We got this. Hey, encouragers, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you've had the scene where you're crying because there's no way you can meet all the roles in your life, I've been there. I've so been there, but I'm not there anymore. And I know how you can get out of that slump and start executing on all the things that God has equipped you to do. You can pick up my book at equippedtoexecute.com, also on my website at shoprsd.com, and it's also available on Amazon. Thank you for tuning in, encouragers. Remember to subscribe so it's automatically on your phone, and please rate and review me. We got this, encouragers.